A manhunt is underway for one of the most talked-about fugitives in recent Louisiana history. His name is Derick Groves, a man connected not only to multiple convictions but also to one of the city's darkest scandals. His escape from jail sent prosecutors fleeing and families of victims into hiding. Derick's grandmother, Kim Groves, was known in her neighborhood as a devoted mother and community voice.
Kim Groves was a 32-year-old when she was gunned down by corrupt NOPD officer Lynn Davis. This was back in October of 1994. WDSU's Shay O'Connor went back to that.
In 1994, she filed a complaint against a New Orleans police officer named Len Davis. But just days later, she was ambushed outside her home and killed. Investigators later revealed it wasn't random. Davis had arranged the murder. That case shook the neighborhood, exposing deep corruption within the police department. For Kim's family, the loss never healed. Derick, only a toddler at the time, grew up with the knowledge that life wasn't always going to be fair for people from his background. He was raised in the lower 9th Ward, an area still weighed down by poverty and the devastation left behind after Hurricane Katrina. Neighbors remembered him as a quiet child, but also one deeply affected by the family's history. Without a steady father figure and carrying the shadow of his grandmother's murder, Derick found structure outside the home. At 17, he was arrested and charged with attempted second-degree murder. He was found not guilty, but his name began surfacing in police reports more and more often. Over the years, he gained a reputation that grew beyond his neighborhood. He started calling himself Woo. By 2018, his involvement in violent crime was undeniable. That year, on Mardi Gras Day, a celebration turned deadly when gunfire erupted in the crowd. 2 men, Jamar Robinson and Byron Jackson, were killed and 2 others were injured. Witnesses described chaos. Just moments after the incident had occurred, Derick took to social media. He bragged about what had happened. Those posts would later become some of the strongest evidence used against him in court. Even as trials dragged on, mistrials, hung juries, and courtroom setbacks, prosecutors built their case. By 2024, the evidence finally caught up to him. He was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. On top of that, he pled guilty in 2 separate manslaughter cases. Altogether, 4 lives were tied to his convictions and several others were impacted by his actions. He was locked inside the Orleans Justice Center, a facility already criticized for weak security and frequent violence within its walls. Prosecutors wanted him transferred to Angola, the state's maximum security prison, calling him too dangerous to be held in a city jail. But that transfer never came. On May 16, 2025, he and 9 other inmates found a way out. Authorities said they exploited security failures inside the jail to make their escape. Within hours, most of the escapees were captured. Derick Groves was not. He vanished into the city. Families of victims connected to his past convictions have packed up and gone into hiding.
Victims went into hiding after they learned of his escape, and DA Jason Williams said 2 of his prosecutors who helped convict Groves have fled the state. Crimestoppers.
If they catch him, then I'll hurt him.
She said Derick came across to her as a normal kid, despite his grandmother being killed by a hitman on the orders of New Orleans police officer Len Davis. Derick Groves was not yet born when his grandmother Kim was gunned down right here in front of the family home. But he remembers the site well, including times when it was used as a memorial in honor of his grandmother.
A small child like that hearing how his grandmother was killed by the police, okay? Yeah, it had a big factor, but he's still my Derick. He's still my baby. I like raised him. He's, a lot of people just see the bad side of it.
If you could just give a message to him right now, what would you tell him?
Be safe and turn yourself in.
4 weeks, his name has remained on news broadcasts and his face shared across social media. Yet despite the pressure, no credible sightings reported. Derick Groves has disappeared, and with him the uneasy question of where he might be and what he might do next.